Welcome to Dollars, Lifestyle, and Charity, a finance podcast for gamers. Romans and I are both money guys, but we're also gamers, so we wanted to put this pod together to help gamers like us with some of their tough money topics that can sometimes feel as hard as a Souls boss.
We're talking budgeting, saving, paying off debt, and how to not fall for all the traps life throws at you.
Grab a health potion and let's start stacking gold IRL. This is DLC, a finance podcast for gamers. Welcome to Dollars, Lifestyle, and Charity, a finance podcast for gamers. I'm Scruffy, this is Romans, and today we're going to be talking about Valve's latest release, the Steam Machine. Just announced it for us a couple days ago. Really exciting, and I think, just seeing it now, thinking about it a little bit, I think they may have found what could be the future of gaming.
I am excited. It looks cute, small. I yeah. I want to know what's in the box. I haven't read the specs yet, so I'll let you tell me what's in the box. But yeah, it's very compelling.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because this is not Valve's first time trying to do this actually. They
Oh.
released the original Steam machine in 2013, similar type of idea, Linux base for gaming all in one, not necessarily a console, basically a mini PC, and it flopped really, really bad. So they made some serious updates, and I think this new Steam machine is going to be pretty groundbreaking. So let's get right into it, man. So it's essentially a mini PC that they've built, and it's mainly used going to be for living room couch gaming. Their target for this is that you're going to be able to, as long as you adjust the settings, be able to run any game on Steam in 4K at 60 frames per second.
My eyeballs can't even see 61 or 90, so I can definitely tell between 30 and 60 though. I used to laugh at those people say I got a headache when I went to 30 frames. Our eyeballs love 60. Our eyeballs
Yeah.
definitely can tell 30, 60. I don't know if my eyeball can go from 60 to 90 or 120 or whatnot. I don't know if I have that level of discernment, but 60 is pretty darn impressive.
Yeah. When they were actually debuting it, they were running Cyberpunk as like a demo, which is a pretty beefy game, and it was running it very well. So that bodes very well. So this what?
No, Cyberpunk absolutely that's what murdered the game. Like I don't know if that was that is such a tongue-in-cheek move. What made Cyberpunk absolutely fail on launch is the fact it was not playable on any
Oh yeah.
console, and half the PCs that were trying to run it couldn't run it. It only ran on the top end PCs, which obviously not everyone has. So
Hmm.
very funny move. But the game also got heavily optimized, so it's not just a little box. They
Yeah.
fixed the game to run
Yeah.
better, but funny.
Yeah.
Sorry, it made me chuckle.
So no, you're good. So it has a custom built AMD Zen 4 CPU, a it's again a custom built GPU. It's an RDNA3 that can run at 8 GB of RAM. And then there's a couple different storage options, but it's going to have at the minimum 512 GB of storage up to 2 TB with the ability to install more additional storage as well. And on top of that, it has a micro SD slot for like if you wanted to get involved with VR gaming, which that was another thing they announced is their VR headset, which is that is kind of a whole other topic for the people who do VR. That's really interesting. Um, but it's a very, it's a very small box. It's very portable. It would be really easy to just sit on a shelf next to your TV or something like that. It's pretty good as far as like its size. The fact that they have been able to put all this much spec PC into such a small box is pretty impressive. I think they've optimized it very, very well, and it's going to perform well. as long as you have the right settings. And I think it is. I don't think it's necessarily trying to be the competitor to consoles, but I think that's when it's going to become. I think ultimately, especially if someone already has a PC, the draw of, getting a PlayStation or getting an Xbox, when you're not really getting as much exclusives there, you can get a lot of these exclusive games on the Steam store now. Why would you want to buy another console if you can just play all your entire library of Steam games with the Steam machine? So I think it's really interesting. I think even though they're not necessarily trying to take away the console space, I think it has the potential to really be that.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I don't know much about AMD. I barely know anything about Nvidia. I just learned about how the Nvidia. I don't know if you knew this. You probably did, but the way you read the graphics card isn't even the way you read it. For a normal person, when you hear 80, when I have a 3080 Ti Nvidia graphics card, so when
Hmm.
I heard of the 5060, I'm like, ooh, 5060. That means it's better. I didn't
Mm-mm.
realize that's how it doesn't work. The 15 to 30 are just like the gen, and it's the second half of
Hmm.
the numbers that matter. So I'm running an 80 series, and that's a 60 series. So my 3080 is still better. I am floored. I don't know who's in the marketing department of Nvidia, but you just made sure only nerds understand what the heck happens here. For us casual people just want to game, I had no idea. So like a 4070 matters more than a 5060. And I'm just thinking usually for me
Hmm.
big number means better. So now I'm looking at AMD's numbers. I'm like AMD Zen 4 RDNA 3 GPU. I'm like, all right, what is this? What is an RDNA 3? What?
It's a custom built GPU because I mean you're not going to be able to fit something that big into a box that's like little. Um, but I know the GPU is like a custom built GPU for the Steam machine
Okay.
because eight gigabytes of RAM is, you still need a pretty decent sized GPU, just like if you're getting one on the market to be able to run that.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to see what it compares to. Okay, so it compare. Okay, all that hula blue just to see that it compares with an Nvidia 4060, which helps me understand what's happening right now.
Which is
So
pretty good.
yeah, that's cool. Not as good as my 3080, but whatever.
I don't think that's the point because, but yeah, that's actually it kind of leads into one of the other things I wanted to talk about is that the point of the Steam machine is not to replace your PC. It's supposed to be kind of like an additional accessory because what Steam's essentially trying to do is they want to be the one-stop shop for gaming, and Valve is going to supply the hardware for that. I think. Have you, Romans? Have you ever messed around with a Steam Deck before?
I
Do you
really,
have one?
really wanted one. I chose not to because the price just seemed ridiculous, and my Switch is still so cool. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, they, I think with the Steam Deck have actually put a decent dent into Nintendo's market share with the Switch because of how effective the Steam Deck is. It's really been able to take portable gaming to a new level. I know you still have your PSP. Like the ability to have gaming wherever you go is something that's really attractive, and they found a lot of success with the Steam Deck and are able to, whereas different things have developed with Linux and their operating system, they've been able to get to the point where they can run pretty much any game on the Steam store without having to have Windows on their operating system. They can just run their native Steam OS. And if things keep going like this, I think it will probably be able to get to a point where Valve and Steam, if you don't want to work with anyone else, you don't want to own any other product, you can pretty much just stick with them and be have pretty much whatever you need unless it's an exclusive game, which is becoming more and more rare unless your name is Nintendo.
Yeah, but man, these Steam Deck prices still make me gulp. But I guess the Switch 2 is. these guys are both making me like, man, am I cheap? Am I the problem? I doubt it. Yeah, these prices make me second guess a lot of things. I can't do
Yeah.
it. I'm happy with my Switch One. Sorry guys, I'm still happy with my Switch One. But yeah, I love Steam's library way more than Nintendo's library. I don't know
Yeah.
who manages the Nintendo library system, but man, there's too much garbage games in there. I feel like Steam does such a good job making sure that the games that they're selling are real games. I feel like Nintendo just, man, I feel like they just bamboozle people. Uh, and
Yeah, you clearly haven't been on the PlayStation Store in a while. It's also awful there.
the PlayStation Store has also fallen.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Oh, thank goodness my son has not discovered that exists. He's the my PlayStation 5 is literally my son's way of us gaming together, and he only
Hmm.
plays what's on there and doesn't look around. Yeah, good. Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
don't know.
this yeah, there's a lot of AI slop on the PlayStation Store right now.
I think that's the season we're in is AI slop. No,
Yeah.
the next I feel like the next entire 2026 future episode we'll do is the AI slop games that exist and how they're literally just
Oh boy.
scams.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, speaking of price, actually, Valve has not actually announced the price of the Steam machine. They said it's built like a PC, so I think comparing it to consoles price wise is maybe not necessarily the most charitable thing to do for it. I think most likely it's being announced early next year, so price is probably going to come out very soon. I think we're probably looking at that like $600 to $1,000 range for this, maybe a little bit higher, depending on where things end with like some trade agreements and stuff like that. Because unfortunately, where we are right now, that is part of the elements to pricing these things. But I think that's probably where we're going to be end up in that neighborhood of pricing, which listen, if you're looking for a console that is able to play pretty much anything, that's pretty good because you're getting much more access to games, especially indie games. Your ability to access indie games on the Steam library is so much better than if you're looking at anything on like the Xbox Store, PlayStation Store, or even Nintendo Store. Um, so it's definitely going to be more expensive than a lot of the other consoles out there, but for what it is, I think it is actually going to be a really good option for gamers.
I am glad it has 17 individually programmable LED lights on it because I don't think I would buy it if it didn't have it. But thank God that I will see 17 individually addressable RGB LEDs for system status and customizability.
For those who didn't understand any of that, there's a little light bar on the bottom of the Steam machine that you can program yourself.
17! 17! Why not 34? Why are they being cheap? I need more LED lights that are customizable so I can send Morse code as I'm playing a video game. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at all the different things. 16 gigabyte RAM. It's interesting about the SSD that it comes between 5, 12, and 2 terabyte because I actually think the magic number is 1 terabyte. So it's really funny to me that they went below and above. So like if it was me, like, well, I gotta buy
That's
the 2
marketing,
terabyte.
baby.
I gotta buy the 2 terabyte one, but there is a high speed micro SD. So then I could
Hmm.
just buy an extra 512. But it's just annoying when your game's on 2 different drives. So
Yeah.
they got me. I'll probably just buy the 2 terabyte one. I will tell you this: as long as this thing isn't price ridiculous, you could win a free one at ReachConf 2026, assuming I can get one. So
Oh,
I'll tell you right now, thing only weighs 5 pounds. You can go home with it. So whoever wins, you can take it home with you. But we might have it on stage. Just I might
oh,
use it
that'd be cool.
first.
I mean, it's a PC, so like you legitimately could run a decent amount of reach off of it if you wanted to showcase it. That could actually be kind of fun.
Okay, I need to find a Steam friend.
And the other cool thing about this is it's a fun feature. It's not anything to do with the actual machine, but there's the faceplate of it. They're going to send the CAD files to everyone, so you're able to manufacture whatever type of faceplate for the Steam machine you want. and like have it decorated however you want. So you could have like a Reach conference faceplate for the Reach Steam machine and have that be on like the front of it, which would be absolutely sick.
Yeah, no, we're definitely the fact that you could do. Oh, please, please, that's a given. Show me what I can. Praise God for the abilities we have. We can do that 1,000%. Each one of those. Yeah. Anyways, I'm excited. Just tell me it's not trash. Somebody get your hands on one in January. Oh, I'm excited. I haven't been this excited for a device in a while. My son actually my daughter needs a new PC. Interesting. Question is how to get one.
Yeah.
I,
So it's going to be releasing at the start of the year. It is essentially a PC. It is primarily controlled using the Steam controller, which they also announced. So that is one thing. It's not mouse and keyboard. You primarily will use the controller. Now the controller you can configure how you want it. It does have like tactile, so you can have it use it like a mouse if you wanted to. But that is one thing. It is more of a console in that sense than a actual PC.
you can't mouse and keyboard this if you want to.
I don't actually know the answer to that. My
It
guess is I'm sure there's some way to do it
There's a
probably,
video of
but
a
it's
dude using one. Hmm.
okay.
Yeah.
I know that the primary idea of using it is to use the controller, but
Okay.
I'm sure there would be some way where you are able to set up a mouse and keyboard to use it
I I,
because there's
I
ways to do that for a PlayStation.
the
So
website has a video of a girl streamer playing Stardew Valley with mouse and keyboard. A stream. Oh, she's a streamer. I don't know if she's a real streamer, but I think she's a fake streamer, be a role streamer. But
yeah,
okay, cool. Because if it plays Marvel Rivals, we're down. I'm so down.
it does play Marvel Rivals.
Okay.
I 100% would play Marvel Rivals. So yeah, I think it's a really interesting piece of technology. I think it for gamers, it allows you to access your Steam library if you already have one. That's a big selling point because you don't need to buy all these games for it if you already have them. Like the instant you buy it, you already have access to your entire Steam library, with the exception of maybe a couple games that are exclusively have to run on Windows. But that is becoming increasingly less of a issue because of it's called like Proton technology. I forget exactly what it does, but it allows you to use the Steam iOS to play games. But I think it's a really great option to get into gaming, and I think it probably is if it is received well, if it could perform well, it might really take the fight to Xbox and PlayStation. I think because the other thing is Xbox really Microsoft hasn't been doing great with their technology for their consoles anyway. This could be the death punch to take them out of the console space.
I think Xbox has been killing itself for years. It's been
Yeah.
cannibalizing its market and forcing people to go to PC. I am curious to see how much it'll hurt PlayStation. And when are we gonna guess the price of this thing? Because I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on that. Um,
Well, I already gave my. You were probably looking at something. I did actually talk about what I'm
oh,
expecting it to have.
oh,
I
my
think it'll
bad.
be somewhere. Yeah, you're
Hmm.
good. I think it'll be somewhere in like the $600 to $1,000 range,
That's a big
and
range. So 800, is that what you're saying?
yeah, I think 600 700 is pretty optimistic. So I think probably like 8 to 900 would probably be
Mm.
a good guess if you want a smaller range.
So the PlayStation 5 Pro is $750 right now. And in
Yeah.
my opinion, it is the best gaming console that currently exists. So you're saying it's going to be just a touch more. If it does do that, I think it definitely is an intentional jab at PlayStation. I think I'm going to go with it's going to be around $1,100. That's my final answer, Jack. Lock it in. I'm going to go with. 1100 for the maximum version, the 2 terabyte, 17. Never seen. John Cena. No. Yeah.
Nope.
No.
Over the head.
Okay. He's a 17. John Cena's a 17 champion, 17 title.
You can see him.
No, well, he's never been seen, but I'm just saying it's 17. The saying is 17 never seen John Cena. And you know what I've never seen? The steam machine. So I need to see it in my hands. I need it in my possession. So to prove it's real. So exciting
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, I think it's really exciting. I think overall for the industry, this is definitely a good thing. Um, the Steam Deck has definitely pushed Nintendo on mobile gaming, and this Steam machine, if it works like they're saying it does, is really going to push consoles to be better. I think it's very attractive that like if you have a PC and you want to play with your kids, you can't necessarily play with them on the PC. You have a family account on Steam, you can set it up in the living room with your Steam machine and they can play there, you can play with them. It makes things really easy. I think this probably would be a really great gaming console to get introduced into gaming with. Like if you can play it on mouse and keyboard, you can play it with a controller. And you get to immediately start building your Steam library, which goes with you for the rest of your life. And I think that's pretty attractive. I think it's good for the industry. I think it's good for Valve, good for Steam, and I think they've locked in on what could be the future of gaming legitimately.
Yeah, 1000%. I'm not digging the Steam controller though. I don't like those giant touchpads below it.
Yeah.
But what I do notice is I think they use the same girl playing the Steam machine as well as the Steam controller. How interesting. They could do a whole I could see a funny thing where someone does their own lore on this girl. Like who's she dating? She's playing like I don't know what game that is. She's playing a game with somebody in the Steam Deck. Then she's streaming. Oh man. I love love storytelling. This could be a funny story if they keep using her in all of their products.
Yeah. Another thing that's interesting about the Steam controller, since you brought it up, they have the controllers for the joysticks they use it's a magnetic joystick that basically eliminates stick drift. So what generally will cause stick drift in a controller is like there's a little thing that connects to the gyroscope, and it's usually made of like metal or plastic. These are made of magnets so that like if you're really aggressive with the controller, it just gets back into alignment with the magnet. So the claim is you'll never get stick drift with the Steam controller ever.
Well, I've broken at least 3 Nintendo Switch controller individual units
Yep.
with stick drift. So okay, seeing is believing. I'm not sure if I can believe that, but I like hearing it.
Yeah. I've had to replace a couple of I broke not broke, but I had stick drift with a couple of my Joy Cons, and I got something similar to this. You can buy the replacement parts. Don't get mad at me, Nintendo. I'm not modding my stuff. Don't delete my account. I installed them into the Joy Cons, and no more stick drift.
Yeah, if anyone asks, that is not Romans talking, especially if it's you, Nintendo, and your lawyers. My accounts have remained unmodified, and I continue to pay your overlords for the overpriced controllers when there's issues. Do not hurt my accounts. Do not break my units. You can't because I only own Switch 1. Take that, Switch 2. You can take your breaking of things and take it somewhere else.
Yeah. So it looks like the the prices for this will be revealed very early 2026. So it looks like we won't actually know the price of the Steam machine until we get past Christmas. So that'll be something that it's an interesting choice. Hmm.
Boo.
Yeah.
Boo.
We'll have to do another episode when like the actual price does come out because I'm interested. I think this really could be big for the industry, and if it's priced competitively, I think this could be the console to rule them all.
Well, I want to buy it. So when the Steam comes out, can we then buy it? Like, what? How's that gonna work? Is there?
Is there I don't know if there's pre-orders yet. Let's
Mm,
see.
I
I'm
don't see how.
also I'm not a fan of pre-orders for anyone listening. Do not pre-order games because you're just giving those game developers license to not work as hard.
But you know what? You should pre-order your Reach Conference 2026 ticket. Even though we have no
Yes.
speakers, no schedule, no showcase, no performances, no game shows, none of that figured out. Because we only have a couple hundred tickets left, and that's it. So
Yeah.
don't sleep on it. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am also with you on video game pre-ordering. It's kind of a wild thing.
Yeah, don't do
The
that.
game developer has to really prove themselves like by a lot. Oof.
Yeah.
Even the big dogs, very surprising. Bethesda's probably my most biggest letdown. And even CD Projekt, I feel like all of them have done it lately. In the last 5 years, every single game developer, every major one, has dropped the ball. Like CD Projekt Red dropping the ball on Cyberpunk's release. I was
Mhm.
just very, because I was supposed to be changing the game. And then Rockstar, let's see what
Yeah.
it does with GTA 6, which is probably going to drop sometime between now and the end of the year. Um,
Unless it gets delayed again
it'll
and
be,
again.
yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
excited for the Steam Machine. I'm very hyped for it. I will. If it's a pre-order, I probably won't do that, but I don't know how else to order one because I need to know if it's good or not. Like, if I'm gonna give one away at Reach, I need to play one ASAP. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah. I it looks like you can't even pre-order it. It looks like you can just wish list it at this point. So, we'll see. That's interesting.
Sad.
So, hopefully we get some more news relatively. It just says it says early 2026 on their website is all it says.
Cool.
So, don't have much information. But when it comes out, absolutely get your hands on it and see what it's like. And I want to hear.
It's hard to be negative on a device we haven't seen yet, but what is there any real clear negatives on this besides the looming price? You think it's only gonna be 800? I think it's gonna be over 1100 or more. What's some other unknown negatives to this bad boy?
Hmm. Let's.
The chipsets I saw was that the chips are from 22. Even though it's custom, it's still a chip that was released in 22. So we're in
Yeah, that
25. So yeah,
yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's also just so hard to get anything new that's being manufactured just because of the way trade is right now with everywhere around the world. But yeah, I really think the only like downside is you're not on Windows, but like I said before, it's becoming increasingly less of a problem. Because you're not on Windows, there will be some games that you can't play. How many? I'm not really sure, but I don't think it's going to be that big. And the other downside is both of our projections are more expensive than the most expensive console on the market right now. So you are going to be paying a premium for this when you could be spending less money on a different console. Um, but personally, I'm okay paying a premium for a premium product.
so not a game dev, but long ago, Linux has always been a place that's hard to stop cheating. So I think that
Mm.
might be, to your point, that might be the thing. How do you stop anti-cheat on a Linux-based system? Curious. I don't know. I don't know. This is maybe more of a comment thing. I don't know much about Linux because I'm a gaming casual dad gamer who just wants the thing to work. Curious.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. I think once we get more people with hands-on experience, that will also show what some of the negatives might be. Because right now, we basically only have a couple people who got to see it and what Valve has said about it. So I think as we get more information, it'll be we'll get more we'll get more information as people actually get hands-on and get to stress tests and break things.
Very interesting. I'm just reading real quick on why Linux is bad with anti-cheat. Interesting. Very interesting. That is actually that is the thing. So to your point, will Marvel Rivals play on it? I'm not so sure.
Hmm.
Because Marvel Rivals, well, Marvel Rivals doesn't it force a local anti-cheat software to run on your thing?
It does, yeah.
So the question is,
But
does
not for
that?
consoles. It
Oh.
doesn't for consoles. It does for PCs.
So the question is, does that? What's that going to do on a Steam machine, which is a PC? It's
Yeah.
not a console, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. The plot thickens. Will the Steam machine play Marvel Rivals? Stay tuned to early 2026, where you will see either a sad Romans or a happy Romans, based on whether it will play Marvel Rivals. Because I would love to put that
Oh,
in the living room to drive my wife crazy. Uh, I can't
as long
currently.
as it's not, as long as you can't play Angela on it, I'm happy.
Uh, what am I playing? I might as well play Minecraft.
Stop taking me off the edge, Romans.
I can't help it. I kidnap her in game.
Uh, yeah. For those of you who know Marvel Rivals, you know why I hate Angela players.
Oh, and if you know Marvel Rivals, you know why I only play Angela.
uh,
Maybe
all right.
we'll play at
Well,
ReachConf someday on
oh,
stage.
listen, we low key a like 6v6 reach tournament for rivals. That would go so hard. That would go so hard.
Might have to do custom 3v3s, but I hear you.
Yeah, I'm down. I would be so down.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's make sure the Steam machine plays Marvel Rivals then, okay? You fix it. You tell your friends over there at
Valve,
Steam.
you
And
Valve, you better make this play Marvel Rivals.
yeah, and tell the makers of Marvel Rivals to, fix the anti-cheat so it'll work on
You can go
Linux.
talk to China. I don't want to make enemies.
I don't want my account banned. You do it. They take away my Angela. No.
Well, I'd love to hear you guys what you guys think in the comments about the Steam machine. If you think it's a good thing, bad thing for the industry, if you're gonna buy one, if you think it's interesting at all, let us know what you think. And this has been Dollars, Lifestyle, and Charity, a finance podcast for gamers. We'll see you next time.
Bye.